if you're not living a life that you're excited with, you have some thinking to do, because we all have the potential within us to create a life that we love. We can have abundance. We can grab those experiences that we dream of, and we can create a life that fulfills us. So if you're not satisfied with the life that you're living, I invite you to stick around, because in this video I'll be sharing with you 7 steps for creating a life that you love. What is up, Ascenders? Bryan from TogetherWeAscend.com here, back with another video. So if you knew me a few years ago, you'd know that my life looked entirely different back then. It was just about 3 to 4 years ago when I was unemployed. I was wasting my days away. I was spending all my time doing things that I'm not proud of, and I simply was unhappy and unfulfilled with the way that I was living. Since then, I've created a very successful personal training business. I've put that aside now to make room for bigger and better things, which I have moved on to. I've created my own brand, my own business. I work with clients to address territory that brings me more fulfillment than when I was just discussing fitness with them, even though I loved that when I was doing it. I feel so aligned internally and with my path, and I'm regularly creating new and memorable experiences for myself. I'm living a life that I love. In transforming my life, I have cultivated an understanding of what it takes to create an enjoyable and fulfilling life. And I'll be sharing that with you through these 7 steps. And by the end of this video, you'll have a better understanding of how you can go about creating a life that you love. Let's jump into those 7 steps. Step number 1 is taking responsibility for your situation. So in psychology, there's this concept called locus of control, which describes an individual's belief around how much influence they think external factors has over their life situation in comparison to their own actions. Having a strong internal locus of control means that one believes that their own actions has strong influence over their life situation. Being in this place is important for creating a life that you love, because it empowers you to take the necessary steps and actions towards creating that life for yourself. But if we get caught up in the trap of feeling like external factors, such as, again, other people or things that we don't have control over, has a stronger influence over our life situation, then we give away our power to control the circumstances that we're in. So understand that the power to create the reality that you desire rests in your hands, and then take responsibility for your situation, and this will open up way for you to move in the right direction. Step number 2 is figuring out what's important to you. So what I mean by this is you want to figure out what your values are and what your core desires are. What is it that you actually want? I would go as far to say that most people aren't acting in line to what's important to them because they simply aren't connected to these things. This is because layers of conditioning and limiting beliefs have a way of burying our core values and desires beneath them. So what I invite you to do is spend some time with reflection. You want to sit down and take some time to identify what your core values are and what it is that you truly desire. When you go through this reflection, what you want to do is allow yourself to dream your wildest dreams. Try not to let thoughts around what you think you're capable of achieving or what you think you're deserving of to filter out what it is that comes up. I also recommend that you check out one of my other videos titled Figure Out Who You Want to Be by Doing This. And in that video, I share with you an exercise that has helped me tremendously in getting connected to what's important to me. I'll put the link to that video in the description below. Figuring out what's important to you is integral in creating a life that you love, because you can't create a desirable life if you don't know what you desire. Step number 3 is directing your attention. So you want to direct your attention towards prioritizing your values and igniting your desires. So while I do think that many people aren't well connected to their values and the things that they truly want in their entirety, I do think most people have an okay idea around some of the things that they want and some of the things that are important to them. So why is it that these people are still not acting in line with these things? Well, one of the main reasons for this is because they simply don't want it bad enough. There's a big difference between kind of wanting something and wanting it. So what you want to do is make the conscious effort to regularly come back to your values and your desires. I personally set aside time on a daily basis to spend some time thinking about these things. With this, you can begin to cultivate the sense of passion and drive to align with these values and desires. And this transforms your desires into what I call your burning desires. And when your desires become a burning one, aligning with those things that are important to you happens so much more naturally. And aligning with what's important to you is, of course, super important for creating a life that you love. Step number 4 is put yourself in the right environment. Now we have to understand and be willing to accept that there may be things or people in our life that don't serve us. These sort of things can have a way of making it more difficult for us to move in the direction that we desire. Now again, it's important to understand that these external factors don't have control over the situation. You do. But it's certainly possible that there are things or people in your life that are simply negative influences. If you can, you want to try to distance yourself from these things, because if you do, you'll give yourself more space for growth and progress. Step number 5 is commit to a routine and good habits. It's in the regular and consistent steps forward that we head in that direction that we desire. So by first identifying a roadmap that heads to where we want to head, and then using that to create a routine and habits that if we commit to, we will move in the direction that we desire. We set ourselves up for success because again, it's in what we consistently do that creates the results that we get. Step number 6 is listen to your inner voice. Now this inner voice has been given plenty of different names. I personally like to think of it as your connection to what I refer to as intuition. Intuition is this place of knowing that exists within and amongst all of us. And this knowing aligns with what's in your best interest and will guide you in the direction of your joy. Unfortunately, most people have a plethora of different voices going on in their head. So being able to discern the inner voice from all the different conflicting voices is a skill and a process on its own. And that's something I definitely plan making future videos on. But where I'll get you started is this. You want to let everything that's happening internally, all the noise, all the thoughts, all the emotions, to come to a still and a quiet. And what you'll find is, when these things quiet down, that voice that aligns with this sense of knowing that of your best interest will come about and arise amongst them. Understand that you have this sense of knowing within you. You'll know the voice when you hear it. It'll just feel so right. And from my experiences, creating a life that you love and being in a place of fulfillment isn't necessarily about getting to the destination that you're heading, but it's more so about consistently acting in line with that voice. And step number 7 is act. You probably heard me say that word within each one of those steps, and for a good reason, but it deserves its step of its own, because none of anything that I've mentioned to you today would have mattered if you don't act. Everything that I've given you up until now will set you up for success. It'll make you more aware of the actions you need to take to create the life that you desire. It'll make you more able at aligning with those actions. But it's through action that we take all of these great intentions and we transform them to manifest a life that we love. If you want to live a life that excites you, it's time to start taking action. So there it is, guys. Those are my 7 steps for creating a life that you'll love. So if you plan to, or will be continuing to, create a life that you love, be sure to smash that thumbs up button. And if you're not yet subscribed to the channel, guys, I invite you to do so. I create videos on an array of different topics, all towards the aims of helping you expand your state of consciousness, improve your state of health, and create a life that you love. So be sure to subscribe to the channel if you're interested in seeing more videos like this one. As always, Ascenders, thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video.